The women's lacrosse program is in just their second season, but had a great opening campaign making a conference tournament. They look for more in 2017. We talk Grand Women's Lacrosse next on the UIndy Experience. We talk about athletes kind of making, during a season, their biggest jump from week 1 to week 2, and kind of from year 1 to year 2. What's it like having an entire team that's kind of making that jump from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, that first year, definitely a lot of growing pains,
sure.
I would say. And I feel like we still have a few growing pains, but from day 1 till now, the progress is huge,
Yep.
which is really exciting to see.
How does recruiting change for you now that you've got an established product on the field?
Recruiting's been unique. We're still finding that area that's going to be kind of like our place that we constantly go. But at the same time, what's great about us is that we have kids from all over the country,
right.
which I think is really attractive because, we have kids from the East Coast, the West Coast, and we're just growing kids from, up north in Canada. So that's probably what's really awesome about our program. Has
the sport grown enough locally where you can start recruiting from the local area at this point, or that's still a little ways away?
We don't have a player on our roster that's from the state of Indiana. There is talent here. I would say that the lacrosse is still growing in the area though.
Yep.
So it's not quite what it is on the East Coast, I'd say. But yeah, hopefully, with the high school programs adding more and more teams, that'll continue to improve. No doubt about that. All right, speaking of continuing to improve, you want your team to do that in year number 2. What are some of the goals you've set for the team this year? So, going to take it day by day, but we have a very challenging schedule this season. We're going to face 3 preseason ranked teams, and that's Grand Valley, Lindenwood, and Pace. Gotcha. So, we'll see how those go. But, I think we can take a step forward in conference. We did pretty well last year. Hopefully do a little bit better this year and, continue to grow on what we started. You and I were talking kind of off camera. It is a spring sport. You guys do not mind practicing, though, in the winter weather. You were outside as we speak today. Just your thoughts about kind of the toughness of lacrosse players in doing that. Yeah, I know we are tough. I think, we go out there and this preseason has been a breeze. We haven't had snow, like knock on wood, of course, but we haven't had to worry about that at all. It's been frigid sometimes, yep. Some days a little more bitter than others, but we play a game in this weather, so we have to be able to practice in that weather, and it's just going to make us tougher come around game time. Well, we're talking about how the sport is growing around the state of Indiana. How about on campus? What was the first year like on campus, and I guess what's the recognition like of your team at this point as far as knowledge of the game and getting fans out to come watch you play? Yeah, I think it's definitely grown a lot. Last year we did the little Wax 101 luncheon, yep. type thing, and had a lot of interest, and a lot of people came, which was kind of cool. And I think it's still exciting. We still have a lot of interest from the faculty and the students. Are you going to offer Lax 102 coming up before the season starts? if it's needed. I think we should. Absolutely. Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck this year. Thank you. And Jen Jablonski joins us now, and she might be able to go for a record on this program because she's a sophomore. This is her second year of being on the UIndy Experience. Just think 2 years from now, you might be like a 4-time participant in this show. It'd be great. What a major life goal that would be for you. All right, good to see you again. And just how is life different now, kind of year 2 versus year 1? Not just for you as a student athlete, but kind of for the program in general.
Yeah, there are a lot of differences, obviously, with new kids coming in, because we became a family at the end, we all knew each other very well, and to have new kids in, it's kind of hard to reacclimate with everybody, but we love all the new kids, we love all the freshmen, and everyone's really fit in really well. All right. So that's great.
When you go back to last year, what were some highlights that kind of immediately come back to mind? Kind of favorite moments from your freshman year on the field?
Freshman year. Yeah. All right. There's quite a few. Just personally, there were a couple games that I really feel that I stepped it up and played really well, and then there's a couple games where I feel like the team as a whole just really stepped it up. I think our game against Tiffin was one of my favorites when Hannah Pretty made a goal in 7 seconds. all the way from down the field, and she just ran it in and shot one-handed, I believe, and made it. And it was probably one of those spectacular moments of our season.
I know nothing about the sport, but even that sounds cool to me. Even I can get something like that. That's good to see. One thing that's unique, and Coach talked about this, is that everybody is from outside of the Indianapolis area. So there's a great sense of camaraderie or a bond on any good team. But I would guess the sense of family is maybe even stronger on your team because of that fact. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it definitely helps to have people from everywhere. Just because everyone comes from, such different societies and stuff, so they've got all these different little traits about them that are really interesting to learn about. And I'm from Michigan, and I actually have quite a few people from Michigan, but they don't live near me, and it's still cool to hear their stories about their teachers that are from Detroit or whatever, and still learn stuff about Michigan that I didn't even know. So it's really cool, and we do get a lot closer that way when we can share stuff.
Do the palm thing. Where are you from in Michigan? Everybody does this.
Okay, I believe it
face
goes,
the camera.
It goes this way.
This way. Yep. Okay.
I'm from about.
I didn't think this would be this celeb.
Right here.
You're from way up there, huh?
Yeah.
Like not the northern Michigan, that's the UP, but way up there, close enough. All right, not exactly a short drive. All right, what's going to make this a good year for you and your teammates?
Just the talent that we've recruited. And I mean, we had so much talent last year, and we've just added and built onto it. And I cannot wait to see how it all clicks with our old team and our new team coming together.
All right, how are things going for you in the classroom?
They're going great. Last semester went really well. I got some top marks, which I was happy about because I worked really hard. So.
All right, what's the major for you?
I am a history major.
And what are you going to do with that a couple of years from now?
I really want to work for museums. I want to help curate.
Very cool.
Set up all the shows and artifacts.
That is like one of the most unique answers we've ever gotten on this show. We're going to bring her back for year 3 next year. Good to see you, Jen.
Good to see you too.
All right. The semester is just getting started. How's it going for you and your teammates so far?
It's going pretty well. We're working really hard on over the preseason, and we have a lot to build on and it looks good. So I think we're going to be set.
All right. Grew up in Maryland, then spent a year in North Carolina.
Yes.
Why was Indianapolis the right place for you about a year and a half ago?
It just felt right compared to what I experienced over the recruiting process and my experience in my first year of college in North Carolina. So it would just felt like I'd fit in kind of more with the girls here, and I'd have a lot more better relationships here. So.
And so far so good?
So far so good.
All right, good to hear. When you look back at last year, what are you kind of most proud of as a member of a first-year team?
Probably the fact that we ranked higher than we were expected to in our conference, and being able to beat Findlay on our first game against them was really cool. So I think we have a lot to build on, and I think it's just going to get better this year.
What's the goals that you and your teammates have set for this season?
I know it's only our second season, but we have so much talent that I think a conference championship is definitely in our future.
In year number 2, huh?
Yes.
I like setting the bar high. All right, how are things going for you in the classroom?
Pretty good, actually. My goal was to make Dean's List. I was very close. I had got a 3.6, but yeah, it's really good, and all my classes, all my professors are really cool. So
if you had to settle for a 3.6, life's pretty good.
Yes.
All right, so what's the major for you?
Criminal justice.
And what are you hoping to do with that when you're done playing lacrosse here?
Well, since I live in Maryland, I only live like 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from DC, so I plan on just working for the government probably.
That's not a bad way to go. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.